Hey church, thanks for checking out this week's edition of the Afterthought. We've been in a series called Living Simply in a World of Complexity. And on Sunday we talked about probably the most important relationship that people have, and that's the relationship that they have with themselves. And we talked about this idea of how complex it can be, the way that we view ourselves. And if we really want to boil our relationship with ourselves down to a simple level, the humility is imperative. And I read a quote then from C.H. Spurgeon that said this: humility is to make a right estimate of oneself. And I've been thinking about this all week since Sunday, about this making a right estimate of oneself, because it's really this tension between these two ideas, this tension between a self-made man and a self-destructive man. The self-made man thinks too highly of himself, and a self-destructive man thinks too lowly of himself. And here's where we have to find ourselves, right in the middle of this tension, where we become a Christ-centered man or a Christ-centered person. That really the way to simplify how we view ourselves is not to think that we're so great and not to think that we're so bad, but to think that we have been made alive in Christ, and that we have been made more than conquerors in Christ, and that in Christ, with Christ as our center, everything then begins to become settled and simple in our lives. With Christ as our identity and Christ as our anchor, we can live a simplified life. We don't see ourselves too big and enthrone ourselves. We don't see ourselves too small and inflict pain and beat ourselves up constantly. We see ourselves in Christ, and we're able to live freely. We're able to love freely. And we're able to enjoy this thing that God has given us called life. So church, I want to encourage you to live in the middle of that tension. Not to be the self-made man, not to be the self-destructive man, but to be the Christ-centered man and live simply with yourself. God bless you.